Hello everybody. Today we're taking a closer look at the difference between the new Nike Pegasus Turbo 2 distance running shoe and the original Nike Pegasus Turbo that came out a little more than a year ago. So if you've got a pair of these and you're wondering, should I jump up into the brand new ones, or if you've got a brand new, or if you're thinking about getting into these and you're thinking, do I need to spend the money on the 180 bucks on the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2, or maybe I'll just get a pair of the Pegasus Turbos and get used to them. We're going to show you the difference between the two. So when the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2 originally came out, it was part of the Breaking 2 project. Breaking 2, Nike took 3 elite marathoners, redesigned everything from the ground up to help them break the 2-hour marathon barrier. Part of that, or out of that, came this shoe for you and me. The Nike Pegasus Turbo, which incorporated the ZoomX midsole, that technically advanced aerospace material that gives you max cushion but also returns 85% of the energy, so super springy. They infused it with tiny hydrogen bubbles. They've doubled the heel-to-toe drop, which really emphasizes a proper running form, that lean forward. And just in the midsole all by itself, revolutionized shoe design. Then they went to the upper and they created a super light upper, gave you structure that you're comfortable with around the heel, elongated that heel, really elongated that heel to help protect your, in fact, I'll bring it up, to help protect your Achilles. It's ridiculous comfortable, right? It fits like a slipper. And then gave you this super comfortable toe. It took all the stiffness out of it so that it would rest right up against the break of your foot. Listen, you and I have run in Nikes before, and if I say go get yourself a brand new pair of these revolutionary running shoes, you go, I've run in Nikes before, and I'm not interested in getting blisters with that narrow shoe. No, these are completely redesigned, and this is how you can tell. You never got this before. This is a toe box where your toes can actually stretch and dive into the shoe with every step that you didn't used to be able to have in a Nike running shoe. Now, it really cradles your foot in this toe box and makes it ridiculous comfortable to run in. So this hit the market and got ridiculous popular. Everybody loves the Nike brand. Everybody bought into and watched the Breaking 2 documentary. We got what they did with the running shoe, and you and I get this everyday training shoe now, and I've actually even seen a lot of people running with them on race day because they're so comfortable. You get this max cush that propels you forward in this super light upper that protects your heel, and it kicks out, so it makes the stride transition smoother. You get all of, and in a toe box that's bigger, all of that. It revolutionized the distance running shoe. Then they introduced the update, and this is the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2. So let's take a look at the difference. Let me switch them. I'm just going to switch them so you can see a proper left and right. The first thing we're going to look at is the heel color. The upper all by itself is lighter. It's got a lighter, more breathable upper. So the upper itself is lighter in the Turbo 2 than in the original Turbo. I would say there's a little less structure in the Turbo 2. There's a little less structure in the Turbo, the original Pegasus Turbo. You had structure around the back of the shoe, and you had structure around the toe and around the middle of the upper. Not that that's been eliminated, but it certainly has been re-engineered so that it's lighter. In fact, I think that this now mimics the Zoom Fly race day shoes more. This tongue sits really nicely. It's like it feels more like the shoe has an inner sock rather than the tongue that comes up from the lacing system. This new tongue is ergonomically designed. It sits right on top. You can see, right, it doesn't just go straight, right? It's ergonomic, so it sits on top. You don't get that break in the foot as your foot breaks, and you get that pain right here. Also, the lacing system. One of the things I really liked about the Peg Turbo was the lacing system. Let's see if I can do this right. The lacing system eliminated the tightness that you would typically feel toward the brake and in your forefoot. We've all had running shoes where you pull them off after a long run, and right, above your toes at that brake right here, it's just painful because of how they lace, how tight they get right here. The Pegasus Turbo eliminated that, and on the Pegasus Turbo 2, they've just tried to improve it even more. They lace gently. Is that a word that I can use? They just feel like it gathers the material around your foot. It doesn't tighten on your foot. It feels like it gathers the material evenly on your foot. I mean, the shoe's been ergonomically designed. It's not the same on the left side and the right side. It follows the ergonomics of your foot. The other thing that I think everybody will be happy about is that the ZoomX midsole is back. It's the same ZoomX midsole. So you get all of that max cush. You get the same double drop from the heel to the toe as you do in the Peg Turbo. You get the same energy return, that 85% energy return, and you get the same infusion of hydrogen bubbles that you grew to love in the Peg Turbo that would cush and then move you forward and save you 4% of the overall energy. All of that has been returned in the redesign of the Nike Pegasus into the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2. So those are the main differences. I think overall, it's a lighter, more comfortable shoe. If this feels like a slipper, to me is how I would describe it. The Pegasus Turbo fits like a slipper when it goes on. This fits like a glove. And a lot of it is because of this ankle, this newly designed ankle collar. It's not as, here I'm gonna pull this up. You can tell it's not as exaggerated. Or how can I do this and show you? It's not as exaggerated. There, that's a pretty good look. It's not as exaggerated, right? And it just feels like the Pegasus Turbo 2 feels more like a glove, and this feels more like a slipper. This slips on your foot, it gathers up on the lacing system, and cradles the back of your foot and your heel, or your Achilles rather. This slides on like a glove and gathers up around the front of your foot, and it's so light that it feels more like, to me, it feels more like the race day shoe. It feels more like they've taken the elements from the Zoom Fly or the Vaporfly and incorporated them into the upper of the Pegasus Turbo 2. Listen, whichever one you decide to go and grab, if you haven't run in these before, go and try a pair of the Peg Turbos. You can grab them on Amazon.com. If you go out to trygearguru.com or rungearguru.com and just search for the articles that we've got on these new shoes, you can follow those links and go out and get a great price on them. They're about half or a little more than half the price that they came out with when they were originally introduced. If you want the brand new Peg Turbo, you can go out to Nike.com or you can go out to Amazon.com. Again, we've got links out there that'll take you out to Amazon that you can find some deals on these. Nike and other resellers will begin to release these online. I think one of the things you'll notice is that they're hard to find in your local running store. So getting them online is really your only option right now. All right, listen, continue to follow us here on Multisport Mojo on our YouTube channel. Subscribe so you can get all the videos that we put out, gear reviews like this, tips and tricks on everything multisport, running, swimming, riding, transition, everything. If you want more information on triathlon, go out to trygearguru.com. If it's running you want, go to rungearguru.com. Everything from marathons to half marathons to shorter distances. Riding, go out to ridegearguru.com for everything on bikes and helmets and cycling shoes. And then if it's swimming, go out to swimgearguru.com if you want more information on jammer reviews and Simpros and goggles. Listen, we do our best to give it to you straight up and give you honest reviews. I'm an Ironman certified coach. I've got 25 plus years experience in triathlon and marathons and distance running. I've got a pretty good feel for this stuff, and I think that this is going to become your new favorite running shoe. The Nike Pegasus Turbo 2, the newest version and the update on the Nike Pegasus Turbo. You're going to love them both. Hey, listen, have a great day. We'll talk to you later.